In 1944, in a quiet hotel in New Hampshire, a small group of men made a decision that still controls your life. Not your vote, not your government, something deeper. They decided what money is. They decided who prints it. They decided who gets trapped inside it. Today, headlines scream that the dollar is dying. China is rising. America is finished. It feels like the end of an era. It feels like Rome before the fall. But what if that story is backwards? What if the world is not escaping the United States, but sinking deeper into it? Because hidden beneath politics, wars, and headlines is a machine so large, so interconnected, that even America's rivals depend on its survival. Not a country, not an empire, a system. And once you are inside this system, leaving becomes almost impossible. The first illusion is that the West is collapsing as one block. It is not. Europe is stagnating. Japan is aging. Britain is drifting. But the United States is separating from its own allies. 15 years ago, the American and European economies were similar in size. Peers. Today, America is dramatically larger. Not collapse, not conquest. Because global capital quietly chose sides. Imagine you manage a pension fund. Your job is simple. Protect retirement money for the next 30 years. A German teacher's savings. A Japanese retiree's future. A factory worker's pension. You look at your home market. Low growth, high regulation, energy uncertainty. Then you look at the United States, deep capital markets, dominant technology firms, energy independence. Where does the money go? It flows to America. Not loyalty, not ideology. Math. This creates a silent vacuum. As Europe slows, American assets look better. As Japan weakens, American stocks look safer. The United States does not need partners to fail. It only needs to look less bad than everyone else. This is the first layer of the trap. While the world debates American decline, America absorbs the world's savings. But savings are only the beginning. Because once money arrives, it rarely leaves. Foreign investors do not just buy stocks. They buy office buildings, apartment towers, warehouses, data centers. They buy pieces of the American physical world, which means something subtle happens. Even if you dislike American policy, your wealth becomes tied to American stability. You may criticize the house, but you now live inside it. Now we move beneath the surface, not to speeches, not to stock charts, to plumbing. In 2022, something happened that terrified central banks everywhere. Not a war, not a collapse. A switch. Hundreds of billions of dollars belonging to Russia were frozen, not stolen, not hacked, simply switched off. Years of exported oil, years of earned income, gone with keystrokes. Every government watching understood the message. Your reserves are only yours if the system allows it. This triggered a global reaction. Countries began talking about abandoning the dollar, trading in local currencies, building alternatives. On paper, this sounds easy. Why should Brazil use dollars to sell soybeans to China? But finance does not run on logic. It runs on liquidity. Liquidity means speed, depth, trust. You can move trillions of dollars in seconds. Most currencies cannot do that, because true reserve currencies require something dangerous: open capital flows. Anyone must be able to move money in and out freely. The United States allows this. China does not. A reserve currency with exit doors locked is not a reserve. It is a holding cell. Even countries that talk about de-dollarization still price risk in dollars, still borrow in dollars, still measure success in dollar terms. Because abandoning the dollar is not switching language. It is rewiring the entire nervous system of finance. And now comes the deeper layer. Collateral. Global banks are legally required to hold safe assets. Assets that can be sold instantly during panic. There is only one pool large enough: U.S. government debt. This means American debt is not just borrowing, it is raw material for the global financial machine. Treasuries are not treated like IOUs. They are treated like financial oxygen. They sit behind derivatives, behind swaps, behind insurance contracts, behind clearing houses. If the United States stopped issuing debt, the system would seize. So while commentators scream about unsustainable debt, banks quietly require more of it. This is why America can borrow at scale that would destroy any other country. Because the world is not lending to America. The world is stocking America's liabilities as infrastructure. Money explains dependence. Geography explains survival. Most major powers depend on imports for survival. Energy, food, fertilizer. The United States does not. It has farmland, freshwater, oil, natural gas, coal, uranium. If global trade collapsed tomorrow, America would still eat, still heat homes, still generate electricity. China would not. Europe would not. Because when danger rises, investors run toward the only fortress that can endure isolation. That fortress is North America. This is not about morality. It is about thermodynamics. Complex societies require energy surpluses. America has one. Most of the world rents theirs. Next comes the future layer. Technology, not apps, not gadgets, compute. The machines that design chips. The software that designs the machines, the patents behind both. Most of this stack sits inside American legal jurisdiction. You cannot build advanced artificial intelligence without this ecosystem. Not unbeatable, but enormously difficult to bypass. Even nations pouring billions into domestic chip programs still rely on American intellectual property. They may assemble, they may package, they may brand, but upstream control remains centralized. Now add network effects. The best engineers move where the best tools exist. The best tools improve where the best engineers gather. This loop compounds. Breaking it is not a policy decision. It is a generational project. Now comes the uncomfortable part. Military power. Oceans are safe because one navy patrols them. That navy belongs to the United States. Remove that protection and modern supply chains collapse. Insurance costs explode. Shipping slows, prices surge. Every major trading nation knows this. Even countries that criticize American militarism still depend on American sea lanes. They protest the landlord while living in the building. Finally, the layer no one likes to talk about. Culture, not movies, not music. Risk tolerance. America culturally tolerates failure. You can go bankrupt, start again, fail again, try again. Many societies cannot absorb repeated failure without social exile. This matters. Because innovation is not clean. It is messy, expensive, wasteful. Cultures that punish failure strangle breakthroughs. Cultures that tolerate it generate them. Talent moves toward American ecosystems, not because America is perfect. Because opportunity clusters there. Put it all together. Money flows into America. Trade relies on America. Technology depends on America. Security routes through America. Talent moves toward America. This is not dominance by conquest. It is dominance by architecture. A network so powerful that escaping it hurts more than staying. So is America invincible? No. Systems this dominant do not fall from outside. They collapse from internal fracture, political paralysis, social breakdown, institutional decay. Those are the real threats, not rivals, not competitors. And if that ever happens, the cage breaks. But until then, the trap remains invisible. Self-reinforcing, global, and almost none of us can see the bars. If you want to understand the hidden systems shaping your future, this channel exists for you. Stay with us.